Every time you pick up the newspaper, every time you switch on the TV, you can bet your old boots that at some point you'll see a high-ranking copper or Labour MP calling on all who are British and free to stand up and defend law and order. It's illegal to rip off a payroll. It's illegal to hold up a train. But it's legal to rip off $1 million or two that comes from the labour that other folk do. To plunder the many on behalf of the few is a thing that is perfectly legal. If you fashion a bomb in the kitchen, you're guilty of breaking the law. But a bloody great nuclear plant is okay. The plutonium processing hastens the day. When this tiny isle may be blasted away, nonetheless it is perfectly legal. It's illegal if you are a traveller to camp by the side of the road. But it's proper and right for the rich and the great to live in a mansion that no one has paid, that was got from the people by pillage and rape. That's what they call a tradition. It's illegal to walk on the highway, to try to arrest Earth's decline, but poison the rivers, the seas and the skies, and poison the mind of a nation with lies. If it's done in the interest of free enterprise, then it's proper and perfectly legal. When you stand in the dock to bear witness, then it's legal to tell the whole truth, unless you explain why you acted to stave off climate catastrophes speeding our way, and give future life a chance to hold sway. To judge Hill and read, that's illegal. We've prescription of Palestine Action for trying to stop genocide. Yet Yvette and Keir are refusing to hear what to people of conscience is perfectly clear. They're complicit in terror, and what they should fear is that courts find their war crimes illegal.
One more song. So can I call Agnes Corey, please?
Yes.
Agnes is a Jewish Holocaust child survivor.
I live on Finchley Road and I swim at Swiss Cottage Sports Centre. Most unfortunately, the Israeli ambassador to the UK, Hotovali, lives about 5 minutes from that sports center. She is not a regular diplomat. She is not like other ambassadors. She is strongly racist. She wants a greater Israel. She works for it, she fights for it, and she admits it. Now, IGEN, through the amazing diligence of Sam, organized weekly protest against Hotovali's presence in the UK. I participated in many of those protests, although not all 95. To start with, we were at the house where Hotovali lives. But then the police protected her and we were moved to Swiss Cottage Library. Then that wasn't enough. We were moved to Swiss Cottage Tube Station. Then that wasn't enough. And by the instigation of Board of Deputies, the IGEN weekly protests were banned for a very, very long radius in London, which is absolutely ridiculous. The excuse they gave was that with disturbed religious Jews going to their synagogue. By the way, those synagogues were 2 or 3 bus stops from the tube station, but that didn't bother the people who made these excuses. So just a few words about Hotto Valley. In 2013, she published an essay, the 5-stage plan for the greater land of Israel. So that was already 2013. She already propagated the 5 steps for the greater land of Israel. In 2015, she announced publicly, the land is ours. All of it is ours. She backed Leheva, a very, very right-wing organization which wants to stop relationships between Jews and non-Jews. Now, does anybody remember something similar, like 90 years ago, 100 years ago, where Jews and Aryans were not allowed to communicate and have sex with each other? That was in Nazi Germany. So, yeah, something never changed. In 2023, Hotto Valley announced, between the sea and the Jordan River, there needs to be one state, only the state of Israel. This is what she announced in public. She also announced in 2023 that British Jews don't feel safe on London streets because of the jihadi ideology of the marches. Well, I feel totally safe, in spite of being Jewish from top to bottom and bottom to top. In 2025, on the Piers Morgan show, Hotto Valley announced that Israel was perfectly justified in bombing hospitals. Now, this is not a diplomat. This is a racist person who incites hatred. Nevertheless, our government protects her. Not only did they ban the weekly protest anywhere near Swiss Cottage, but 170,000 people signed a petition to have Hotto Valley expelled. Now, normally, after 100,000 signatures, there is a parliamentary debate about whatever the petition is about. But no, there was no parliamentary discussion in spite of 170,000 signatures to expel Hotto Valley from the UK. So I just want to finish by saying, Hotto Valley, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Can we do it again? Hotto Valley, you can't hide. We charge you with hatred. And last time, Hotto Valley, you cannot hide. We charge you with genocide. Thank you.
Or Jews, because Palestine Action threatens the thing that Britain really cares about, its military interests, its imperial interests, and its arms companies. So Britain is massively complicit in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and specifically this genocide. If we go back to the 19th century, Britain wanted a toehold in the Middle East, wanted to have a minority of its own in Ottoman Middle East. The Russians had the Orthodox Christians, the French had the Catholics, and the British thought they'd adopt the Jews, and that would help them gain a foothold and gain a way in. They conquered Palestine in the First World War to protect their territory in Egypt and protect the Suez Canal. They implemented the Balfour Declaration out of a conspiratorial anti-Semitic sense that Jews ran the world, and adopting this would help them win the war. In the 1930s, they crushed the Arab revolt because it threatened the oil pipeline the British had built between Iraq and Haifa, and Palestinian Arabs were attacking it. And the British prevented a multicultural, egalitarian state of all its citizens from coming into fruition in Palestine, instead enforcing partition. And when the UN came out with a partition solution, Britain did not stay around to enforce it, to make sure that two states come into actuality. They just packed up and left. Ever since then, they've been supporting Israel and they've been crushing the Palestinian Arabs. So we need to target Britain hard, and its military bases in Cyprus have been enforcing the genocide, sending flights over Gaza. We need much more focus on Britain. I do not believe Britain do this for any love of Jews. I do it for their own self-interest. They take us and they say, we're protecting Jews, we're protecting Judaism, we care about anti-Semitism. It's lies. They only care about themselves, and they put us in danger by this tokenizing, by making us a model minority. We reject this philo-Semitic embrace. We refuse this. I want to just say, in addition, that this claim that what's happening is anything to do with Judaism is entirely false. The early Zionists were very clear that they were jettisoning Judaism. They were building something new. What we have is a a sort of skin of Judaism with a body of ethno-nationalism. And it says in the Torah that the voice is that of Jacob, but the hands are that of Esau, right? So we have this kind of artifice, but underneath, this is nationalism, and we must reject this. We just had the Jewish holy day of Tish B'Av, which marks the destruction of the temple. And the book of Eicha, of Lamentations, which we read on this day, tells of the destruction of Jerusalem, absolutely horrific scenes of brutality and starvation. And we cannot help but think of Gaza today as we read the book of Eicha. But as we know, in Judaism there is always hope. Jerusalem will be rebuilt, and the empires that are oppressive empires will fall. Sodom falls, Pharaoh's Egypt falls, Nebuchadnezzar falls, Rome will fall. And this too, this regime of injustice will fall. And Judaism will be the better for it, because we will emerge out of this cage of ethno-nationalism. So I just urge you not to accept the suggestion that all this is Judaism. It is not. Be proud of our traditions, be proud of our ethics, and stand up against genocide. Thank you. La 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 la. Join in when you find the words, or sing la la. I've got the words. Palestinians awake each morning. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Palestinians awake each morning to occupation at their door. They face expulsion and separation. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. They face expulsion and separation from the land that feeds their lives. Israel's system is less than human. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Israel's system is less than human. Apartheid is a heinous crime. And in Gaza, each day we witness, oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. And in Gaza, each day we witness depravity of genocide. In common struggle, we come together. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao. In common struggle, we come together, demanding justice for Palestine. In our thousands, in our millions, Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. In our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians now. Shukra, thank you.
Right, can you go to the gate?
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Excuse me,
Palestine will be free. Palestine will live forever.
free, free
Palestine!
Yeah, Palestine.
They are starving children. They are starving women who are pregnant, who have no food, whose children will probably die inside them. This is murder. This is a war crime. They are not only complicit, they are enablers. They are continuing to sell arms and drones, and they are continuing to bomb and prevent aid from getting into Palestine, into Gaza. They are allowing the settlers to bulldoze houses in the West Bank.
In this country who want this to stop genocide and who are fearful that the protest is going to stop instead.